they also lose their power to offend.
I played quite an elderly lady, and I played the word cum, C-U-M, which she challenged. and then I was sort of sitting there slightly embarrassed. But that's what I quite like about...
Tell me about that word. Is it a legitimate word?
It is, well, yes. So all the swear words are allowed. It's almost like a utopian world where words have no ability to hurt anymore, because they're only words. They're only the most points you can get.
For me, they're not really words, you know. I mean, can I say an offensive word?
Yes.
Well, bint is a word that comes up an awful lot in sort of neighbourly Scrabble, you know, whereas it's not a word I would use in real life, I don't think, but because you've got bin and then you can add a T at the end.
How sweet, Lynn, that you think bint is an offensive word.
You couldn't play a politically correct game of Scrabble. You'd probably lose.
But the most contentious words aren't the four-letter ones. It's the 124 two-letter words that are of most strategic importance and the most annoying to the casual player.
Is valid for Scrabble.
That's two M's, not
Two
three.
M's, not three.
What I hate about Scrabble are those people who are obsessed with two-letter words, all these Z's and N's and Ubs.
Tsar and Zai and, you know, the words that don't bar, that don't mean anything to anyone.
You never make these noises in conversation.
The word chi, Q-I, if you have a triple letter score, a blue tile, and then an I, you can just pop the Q in. To get 62 points with one letter, it's exciting when that happens.
Zo.
Zo's an animal. It's a cross between a cow and a yak. And it's domesticated in the Himalayas.
There's a scientist breeding gazelles in China and just calling them ni, just so that he can get high-scoring Scrabble points.
And O-O.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's just
Exclamation.
ooh.
I know, it's an
I
exclamation.
do O-O-H.
I think you could have OOH as well.
What's car? K-A.
KA. Dunno. Got me on that one.
And then people go, what does that word mean? And you go, I don't know, I just know that it's allowed in Scrabble.
One of the most valuable two-letter words of the dictionary is Z-A, Tsar. It's allegedly slang for pizza. How do you do? Could I have a Tsar, please?
Sorry?
Could I have a Tsar? A Tsar, have you never heard of that?
No.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Pizza, Tsar.
We see pizza means pizza.
I don't know, don't blame me. What are these Scrabblers doing to the language? Sorry. Bye.
Helen Gibson is one of Britain's top players. With the help of linguistics professor Lynn Murphy, I want to see how our word skills compare. And as I've always been a word lover, I feel pretty confident that I can match her in a head-to-head battle.
The first test is true and false. Are the series of letters that we've got words or not? And so we would expect that Helen would do quite well on that, since she studies word combinations all the time.
My suspicion is they're all words. I've seen such stuff.
Lately, I couldn't believe that most of them are. Vaticum, spelt C-O-M-B. No. Kittle, I'd like that to be a word. That's going to be my principle here.
The second test gives each person a definition, and then it gives them 4 choices for what word goes with that definition. And the third test involves anagramming skills, and the contestants will have to sort them out, find out if there are words in there.
Okay.
Inseams.
In what?
Inseams.
Inseams.
Nemesis.
Nemesis, that's good.
Dossier. Analyze. Oh, loads. Retails, realist, saltier, saltire, slatier, and tailors.
Please.
Noxious.
Predictably, Helen called every single one of the anagrams before I had a chance. But the other test results gave me some consolation.
Okay, on the first test, is this a word or not a word? They were quite hard words, but Helen got 92%, 46 out of 50, and Alan got 58%, so 29 out of 50.
I think I did quite well then, didn't I?
A little bit better than chance, yes.
That's not very generous.
In the definition test, Alan got 4 wrong, and Helen got 3 wrong, so...
Helen has spent years and years memorizing words, but when it came to definitions, she was only just ahead of me. But like most of the top players, her background is in computing and her love of words is strategic rather than poetic.
When I think about what it means to love language, I don't necessarily mean it as loving reading novels or things like that. I think there are other ways to love language, and one of the ways to love language is to find the patterns in language and see how it works. And I think that's what Scrabble players do. They look at the parts of words, they gain an appreciation for what is and isn't a possible English word.
People who read books, and literate people, people who play Scrabble by the fireside at home, and they may feel a bit jealous that these mathematical types are sort of better at it. I mean, where does the mathematical brain and the sort of literary brain, and the word brain, where do they converge?
Well, I think there's a problem in thinking of the literary brain as the word brain. But if you think about what I do as a professional linguist, as an academic linguist, I recently finished a book in which I discuss 18 great modern thinkers in the realm of linguistic semantics, the study of meaning. 10 of those 18 thinkers had their first degrees, or at least started their first degrees in mathematics or hard sciences. So there's a great overlap between people who love language, maybe not the historical or the literary tradition of language, but love language as an object in itself, and people with mathematical or engineering type minds.
So Scrabblers are hardwired like linguistic engineers, and at the highest level, they are clinically obsessed.
Mark.
Hello.
Good to
Nice
see
to
you.
meet you.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'll take my jacket off as soon as it's off.
Oh, you're taking it seriously.
Yeah, I'm taking it seriously. Sure am.
And none more so than maths scholar Mark Nyman.
Okay.
You are a world champion, aren't you? That's right, yes. There's been 9 world championships. I was the winner of the second one. And it's been 16 years, so it's been a while, but I'm aiming to, have a go at it again.
Mark has experienced the highs and the lows of Scrabble, because in 1999, Mark lost the World Championship by a single agonizing point in the final game. And it had a devastating effect on him.
I completely crashed with the stress. It set me on a bit of a negative cycle for a year or so. I lost a lot of sleep. It can affect you mentally. Every time I lose a game now, however hurtful it is, I can think back to then and think it's not as bad as that. Nothing can be as bad as that.
Oh, you're just showing off.
I'm giving you a nice triple with the S. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Clearly, becoming a world champion takes years of study and intense dedication in a way I will never match. But I've got a plan.
This looks interesting.
Doodoy.
I'll challenge that. I'll neutralise the clock.
Are you really going to challenge it?
I'm going to challenge that. It's not a word.
Who says?
I say. Okay. What is it?
What? Who cares what it is? I've learnt the rules here.
Doodoy. No, dudisms, but not doodoy. Sorry.
Dudisms, but not doodoy.
It's easy for Mark to beat a doodoy like me, but he'll have to be at his very best to win the 2009 World Championships.